And so what I've learned to grow my businesses and because I own title companies, mortgage company today. I have a construction house flipping business that I'm doing. Anyways, all of those things all came with uncertainty, fear, anxiety, and I'm like, this is growing, man. This is just growing as a human being. And so money is no longer, I don't need the money. I just want to keep growing as a human. And that is where the competitive side comes in. It says, how far can I take this? Because it's not about paying my bills. That's not the focus anymore. The focus is, how far can I take me?
Right. Yeah. I talk about a lot of stuff like, first of all, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's that edge of being uncomfortable that's the growing thing that you're talking about. And it's always a breakthrough, whether it's sports. I always used to joke about water skiing or snow skiing. You learn, the most you learn in either of those sports is just the moment before you fail. And right at that edge is where you learn a lot about how to be better at skiing,
Yeah.
And so it's, I often tell these guys that, the owners, is that you can't solve a problem someone doesn't have. So if these agents don't start reaching to that limit, that goal, they want to get to the place where they're uncomfortable. And if you can't get them excited about being there, it's hard to get growing. And getting back to what we were talking about early in the conversations when I first started, our system was really about coaching. My whole thing was, I'm not good with new people, go learn how to do contracts. Come here and I'll get you from here to here. And I always found it was really interesting, because when someone bumped from one spot to the other, they had a tendency to just never go back. That mental breakthrough when you could actually get to some other plateau. But man, that second plateau, to get them another spot, that was a really, really difficult transition.
Yeah.
They get so comfortable with the world around them, and people in their world are comfortable being in that world,
I asked Mike, it was last year, I was having a conversation with him, let's just call it 10 months, 12 months ago, something like that. And I was walking in through my business, and my business does well. We sell 600-700 homes a year, and the company does really well financially. So I asked Mike, I said, Mike, I feel like the last few years that I'm just doing the same business. And he says, well, let's talk about that. He says, let's go back 5, 6, 7 years ago. I said, okay. And he says, do you remember the risk that you took? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, let's talk about your income and let's talk about your risk. So we walk through that, and he says, you're pretty well financially, you're doing well financially. And I'm like, yeah, life's really good. And he says, well, this is the problem. He says, you're comfortable with the way things are, and you're not really pushing the risk level at a high enough level to really cause yourself to be uncomfortable. And I'm like, God, he's so right. Like God, you look at this, and he said to me, he goes, I want to say this to you. It's okay that you're okay.